Okay. So it is so good to see everyone here on a Friday night. Thank you very much. आप सब लोग Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. आप लोग यहाँ पर हैं, इसलिए we are actually doing this seva. And मेरे को पता है I do this every single week. But without doing this, I don't think I can, sit here and even talk about God, because one of the things that is most important for all of us to have, when we are trying to give someone something, we can only give what we have. I want to be grateful to all of you. With that gratitude, if I don't have gratitude, I can't give it. Yeah. So I want to be I want to feel gratitude. I want you to understand that this is actually our core. We feel it from the heart that without you, we would not do any of this. So I'm very thankful. Friday Raat ko, there are so many things you could have done. Okay? We could watch movie or TV series or whatever it is, going out for dinner, whatever. So many different things. But you chose to come here on a Friday night, which is in Australia. It is like a celebration night. My mother, I remember in 2007 when she came first time, we used to live in the city, so I took her Lygon Street on a Friday night, and she asked me, "Is it a festival today?" I said, "Yes, mother, it's weekend festival." It's a Friday festival. So thank you very much for being here, and thank you very much to all the core team who has put together such a beautiful organization so that we can do this seva. So thank you. Alright, so we have, so before we start, we have someone who is coming for the first time. Are you here for the first time? So can I please, bro, can you pass on the mic? I just want you to introduce yourself, your name, where are you from, and what do you do, and what are your expectations? So I'll say, what's your name?
Rupender.
Rupender. And where are you from in India?
I'm from Chandigarh.
Chandigarh, okay. And what do you do?
I work for the government.
Government, okay. And how long have you been in here, in Australia?
22 years.
Oh wow, so long time, okay. And how long, do you live in Port Cook? Okay. And what do you expect from this? What is your expectation?
I'm not too sure.
Oh, okay, that's a really good thing. So whatever I do, he'll be happy. No expectation is the best thing. Can I please ask her to introduce, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Puneet. I live in Point. He's
Okay.
my husband.
Yeah. You have kids?
Yeah, I've got one daughter here. Her name is Mia. She get
What's her name?
Mehar.
Mehal.
Mehar. M-E-H-A-R.
Okay, Mehar. Oh, very nice. Mehar means like kripa, that means,
Yeah,
it's blessings. Oh,
blessing,
beautiful.
yeah.
Wow, what a beautiful name.
Thank you. So इंडिया से मैं जलंधर से हूँ, पंजाब से,
Okay.
और मुझे भी यहाँ पे to be precise 17 years हो चुके हैं.
Okay.
और मेरा प्रोफेशन
Yes.
मैं फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट हूँ.
Oh, you're a physiotherapist. Yeah. Oh, very good. And do you work for yourself or you work somewhere?
No, I work for a not-for-profit organization.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So how did you come to know this?
So हमारा यहाँ पे फ्रेंड्स हैं काफ़ी अच्छे, तो वो यहाँ पे आते हैं रेगुलर.
अच्छा.
से
कहाँ वो आज हैं?
हाँ,
अच्छा, आज हैं.
Shout out to Manchanda, नेहा एंड बबित.
Beautiful.
बट उनसे भी ज़्यादा आई थिंक डीएम की बेटी है, उसने मुझे काफ़ी पूछा कि
Well done.
फ्राइडे को आप क्या कर रहे हो, और उसने बोला कि वहाँ पे ड्रॉइंग भी होती है.
Beautiful.
So I think kids have fun. So इसने काफी बार पूछा मेरे से, तो हमने कहा कि चलो we'll give it a go कि क्या है.
So your expectation? What do you expect?
अभी look, nothing. I'm just
Okay.
observing. I'm
Okay.
observing
Very
what it is.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Nee, I am very happy with that actually. So I don't know लोगों ने आपको क्या बोला है, but today when you joined, it is one of the most critical classes that I'm going to do, and it is not going to be an easy class. I'm going to tell you honestly right now, it's going to be a very difficult, confronting class. It will be uncomfortable to be in this class, and I can tell you honestly, if you have any questions, don't hesitate, because you know what happens? The growth happens when there is a little bit of discomfort. आपको पता है ना कि if I start doing my if I use this as a dumbbell, how big can make my muscles, bicep? How big can I go? Not much, yeah? Because this has no weight. So jitna discomfort ज़्यादा होगा, muscles उतनी बढ़ेगी. Today's session is probably one of the most critical. आज का और next week का session will be probably the most critical session for the all of this. आज तक हमने जो पढ़ा है और आगे जो भी पढ़ने वाले हैं उसका आज base clear होगा. अगर आज की चीज, if you can't get today's thing, then nothing will make sense afterwards. I'll repeat. If today's session does not make sense, nothing will make sense after this. Because आज जो हम लोग पढ़ने आ रहे हैं, whatever base we gonna create, पूरी की पूरी spirituality जो हमारा शास्त्र है, everything will build on this foundation. So please ask questions, please be present, and participate, because it's gonna be a very very amazing journey. But at the same time, मैंने बोला I will talk about some very the topics which is going to be very it's not going to be very comfortable to hear. Okay, let's see.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
मेरी daughter की classmate भी आई है.
Okay, do you want to introduce yourself?
Introduce yourself.
Yeah. What's your name?
First time आई है.
Okay. What's your name?
Krisha.
Krisha.
Krisha K.
Krisha. Oh wow. What's
After Krishna.
Krishna? That's amazing. What a beautiful name. And you study with her. Okay. And what's your expectation? What do you expect out of this?
She get told you like over the class.
She said anything nice or no?
Yeah.
She just dragged her along.
Okay. Because sometimes I never tell my friend anything good. I just say you have to come. That's it. So could be like that anyway. Anyway, you don't have to. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. But
Actually, I spoke with her parents and
Yeah.
we told like we go do.
So where are your parents? They're here or no?
They haven't come. I told
So
them-
if you like this class, bring them next time. Yeah. So I'm talking to you today. Okay.
So
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Sorry. No, I didn't want you to make her uncomfortable, but that's okay. All right. So let's quickly recap. So people who are first time coming here, this probably is not going to make much sense, but I promise you I will keep introducing few things during the class. So we have, this is our first topic. आज हम लोग third topic start करने वाले हैं. We will talk about the first and the second topic. First topic था search of happiness, and we looked at humans और animals के बीच में common traits क्या हैं? Eating, sleeping, mating and defending. And differences क्या है? कि humans have the ability of higher inquiry. Humans can experience bliss. Humans are they have an option to make the right choice, and they have an option to determination to follow A, B, and C. Then we discussed there are 7 real problems because we are looking for happiness, yeah. But in that happiness there are 7 problems. What are the problems? Birth, old age, disease, death, and these are the 4 major problems, and there are 3 sub problems, which is Adhyatmik, Adi Devik, and Adi Bhautik. Can anyone tell me what is Adhyatmik miseries? Huh? Adi Atmik. The miseries caused by my own mind. It's called Adhyatmik. Adi Devik. What is Adi Devik? Like
Tornadoes.
natural disasters, tsunamis, earthquakes, and things like that. The third one is Adi Bhautik. What is that? Created by someone else. And could be your kids, you could be your partner, could be your siblings, could be machhar, could be makhi. It could be a mess. Yes. Okay. And so but these are problems there, but there are 3 temporary solutions for these in order for us to get that happiness. And because we have these problems, there are 3 temporary solutions. First solution, scientific advancement. That means if there is a problem of, for example, if it's too cold, yeah, we have heaters, scientific advancement, yeah. And the second is speculation. So the other thing is, okay, if I have this issue, what can I do? You speculate and try and find a solution. And the third one is superficial religious rituals. For example, oh my goodness, I have these problems. The only person who can help me is God. I don't know whether he exists or not, but whoever it is, I just pray to him, I don't know, somebody sent me a clip of, how many of you seen Big Bang Theory? Yeah. So Big Bang Theory, Sheldon doesn't believe in God. So he one day he couldn't get into the website to buy the new the tickets for the new Star Wars movies. So and he goes, oh my goodness. Then he just goes down on his knees and start praying. He doesn't believe in God, but he's praying because he's so desperate to get that tickets online. So he was trying to do some superficial religious rituals to get that. So these are the few temporary solutions. But these don't work. We discussed it in detail. So the permanent solution is, if we connect to the source of happiness, which is God, we will have happiness. And we will, all of this series is based on proving this. That was the first topic. The second topic that we discussed is proof of existence of God. So there are 4 proofs of God's existence. What was it? Creation implies a creator. Laws imply a lawmaker. Organization and order implies that there is an organizer. And design implies an intelligent designer. You know? And we discussed Newton. There was a time when Newton made a model of solar system, and then one of his atheist friend came next day and he goes, hey Newton, what is this? He goes, such a beautiful solar system, who made it? Newton goes, oh, I don't know who made it. I just woke up and it just disappeared out of thin air. He goes, oh, you're idiot. Like, how can this appear out of nowhere? He goes, but you're an atheist. You think everything appeared out of a big bang out of nowhere, and you don't believe that this solar system is created by thin air? No. So we actually did a lot of different discussions to prove that these are the 4 proofs of existence of God. Then we discussed 2 definitions of God. The first one was He's a supreme source, proprietor, enjoyer and controller. And then we discussed the definition of Bhagwan, which is possessor of 6 opulences, which is wealth, knowledge, beauty, strength, fame and renunciation. Now we discussed in last few classes method of acquiring knowledge about God, or actually method of acquiring knowledge about anything, not just God. So the first method is Pratyaksha Praman, which is out of sense perception. You know, looking at it, touching it, smelling it. So we can actually get knowledge out of all of these senses. The second is guesswork, you know, and the third one is authority, which is scriptures. And we discussed which of these 3 is superior? Shabd Praman, which is authority, yeah. And then we discussed quite a lot about why have faith in scriptures. So we did a historical validity. That means we discussed Arundhati Vashisht. Do you remember that example? In our Saptarishi, the second star is actually not 1 star, it's 2-star constellation. And the only, what is the significance of that constellation? They're both revolving around each other rather than one revolving around other. So in ancient times, it's still the same in South India. When a couple gets married, they look at the Arundhati Vashisht and they pray to Arundhati Vashisht that exactly the way you guys are revolving around each other, our lives will be revolving around each other. So there is no superior or no inferior in a marriage. So there is a historical validity, and we looked at a lot of other things. For example, in Srimad Bhagavatam, how a human anatomy, like, you know, how a fetus evolves from small little cell all the way up to a fully grown baby in the womb. It is written 5,000 years ago. It's actually, there's one of the books behind Prabhuji in the shelf. There is a book, Canto 3, it has everything in there. We discussed, so there is a historical validity of scriptures. And we discussed scriptures are instruction manuals for human body or humans, you know. And there are a lot of predictions that have come true. One of that is the human fetus, but there are a lot of others discussed. We discussed actually proof. Like, for example, one of the biggest thing we discussed is in our geography. Geography in Sanskrit is called Bhugol. Bhu means earth, Gol means it's round. It's only like, 13th century we found out that earth is round. Pehle hum log kya sochte the? It is all flat. So in our scriptures we knew all of that before. And we discussed there are predictions about, in our Bhavishya Puran, there was prediction about Gautam Buddha, prediction about Muhammad, prediction about Jesus Christ. We had predictions about Chanakya Pandit, and Ashoka, these kind of stuff. It's actually mentioned in our scriptures. So it has a lot of different validities. Today, the topic actually we're going to discuss is called Who Am I? But this topic, before we discuss who am I, we will talk about why should we put our faith in scriptures. मैंने आपको बताया था ना, today's class is going to be the base, like a foundation of what we're going to discuss. So we'll look a little bit about why we put our faith in scriptures, and then we move on to who am I. Then we discuss what is the proof of existence of soul and how many bodies we have and all the frequently asked questions. Let's look at the proof of scriptures. So one of the things that we discussed in our previous classes is it's an instruction manual, And for example, anything that we buy, everything comes with an instruction manual. Similarly, us as human beings, we have an instruction manual which is called Vedas. Yeah, our Vedas are instruction manual. And we discussed about axiomatic truth. Anybody remember what axiomatic truth means? It means a truth that cannot be physically or any other way can be proven, but it is a truth. It is truth, but we cannot prove it. So for example, cow dung, we discussed a lot of different examples. One of the examples we discussed is cow dung. Thousands of years ago, since thousands of years, we are using cow dung for different purposes. Western civilization started using it in late 18th century. And now in 1940s and 1950s was the first time they accepted, yes, you guys are right. All of these hundreds of thousands of you were saying about cow dung is correct. So now they're using a lot of different things, because cow dung is what? It's an excreta of an animal. And it has so many different properties. How? We knew it from our scriptures, but nobody else knew. So it is the axiomatic truth. फिर हम लोगों ने देखा था prediction about scriptures. श्रीमद् भागवतम में लॉर्ड बुद्धा के बारे में लिखा है. And then we discussed a lot about why should we put our faith in scriptures. So हम लोगों ने उसका भी एक example देखा था कि how does, if a child want to know who is his or her father, what should he or she do? Some people say we should do genetic testing. So genetic testing means pratyaksh praman, that means through our senses. But if you think about it, what happens is, if you do genetic testing, assuming that we test only 10% of males, kisi ne bola, how do I find your father? Okay, we'll do genetic testing of 20% males in the whole planet. It will take 800 years. Agar ek test 10 minutes mein bhi hota hai, and it's not going to be accurate, it will take 800 years to find out who is the father, and that's even not true. So what is the easiest way to do it is? Ask who? The mother. You ask the mother who is the father, and you will know. So the first one is historical information. Dusra tha, we see predictions, we have seen the predictions, Just remember, now faith in our scripture is like, faith in mother's statement is called Shabda Praman. What does that mean? That means essentially scriptures are like our mother, and they give us the knowledge about our father. And who is the father? Supreme Lord, God. God is, and we will talk more about it in the following topic anyway. Now, if you think about it, आप लोगों से मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ कि like faith, like we all have faith. Can you tell me an example of faith? Like for example, there is one example मैं देता हूँ ताकि you can start it. One of the example of faith is that when I was in university, when my teacher actually told me this is how you measure electromagnetic current, I did not question him. I said, okay, this is the instrument and this is how I measure it. I did not say, oh, prove me. I didn't say that. So that is called faith. I have faith in my teachers and university lecturers. What are the other? Can you give me an example of faith? Yes, Vita. Can I have the mic, please?
Wounds healing.
Wounds healing. Now faith. So what is the faith in what? So I had a faith in my lecturer. What do you have faith in? Like for example, doctor? If there is a wound, you go to doctor. So we have faith in doctor. We don't go to doctors and say, hey, don't touch me until you show me a degree. Do we say that? No, why? Why don't we say that? We have faith. We have faith. Literally, if there is someone sitting there who is not a doctor, you wouldn't even know. So 90% of our life goes with faith. What are the other examples? Yes.
Faith in our parents.
Parents, yes. Parents said, this is good for you. I mean, I never believed my parents when they say something is good for me, but obviously, slowly, gradually start building faith. Yes. Yes, beta.
Faith in your life.
Faith in your life. And who are you? Kis pe hai faith? Like life what? Like you're alive? Yourself. Faith in yourself. I love that. I don't have faith in myself. Can you give me some of that? That's really good. Kids do have that actually. Kids do have. You know what we do? We get that out of them. Like, you have faith in yourself? Get it out. Anyway.
Have faith if parents like sometimes.
Yes. Yes. I remember. Yeah. When you throw them up, they laugh. And if they fall once, they will never laugh. Because when you throw them up, you laugh because they have full faith in you. My son, he goes to me, Papa, I'm going to jump from this. I want you to catch me, And I was about to tell him, no, don't jump, and he jumped. So I had to catch him, and then I told him, hey, you need to look at me and say, yes, did you hear me? What if I didn't hear you? What if I was thinking something else, I remember when I was young, I didn't know how to swim. So my dad was in army, so we had an army swimming pool. I was around 5 years old. And I didn't know how to swim, and the swimming pool there was 22 feet deep. 22 feet. It was a very deep swimming pool. It's Olympic size swimming pool, and there were 3 boards, diving boards on it. So my eldest brother goes, why don't you go up there and jump from there? And I said, but I don't know how to swim. He goes, don't worry, when you come out, I will grab you. I was like, okay. I went up and jumped. I came out, no one was there. I went again in, and then my brother forgot that I was there. So someone else got me from there. After that, never trusted my brother. What I meant to say is, we have this faith. What are the other things we see in daily life? Give me an example. There are so many examples.
Like pilot.
Pilots, yeah, in the plane. When you fly, do you ever go to a pilot and say, hey, show me your degree? I don't trust you. Don't even look like a pilot. You didn't even shave today. You're always shaving, but some have some stubby. You're like, well, I don't believe you. We don't even actually say, hey, come here, I'm going to do your breath test before you fly the plane. Do we do that? No. When we get into the train, suppose you get into the train from here and you're going to the city, or suppose you have to get off at Footscray. You know that the screen actually showed you it's going to stop at Footscray. You get in there, you never ask, never question, are you sure? You don't ask 20 million people, hey, are you sure it's going to... We have faith, it's going to stop. It says it's going to stop, yeah. For example, when we go to a barber, barber has a blade. This is mundan. That's why I showed it, so that you guys can ask questions and I can give you what it is, what it means. Suppose we go to a barber. Barber has a blade. And we like, okay, some people actually sit down and go to sleep while they're getting their haircut or massage and everything. Why? We have faith, Basically, it is an integral part of our life. And then, like for example, we discuss as a pilot, and then think about it suppose in an operation theater, you never say, oh, you know what, I don't believe you. What, I don't believe you. Imagine you telling a doctor, I don't believe you. He said, I'll give you anesthesia. And then you had anesthesia.
I have to believe the doctor.
You had to believe, yeah? You have to believe because, who is going to save your life otherwise, So we have to understand that, and it is life and death. Somebody, and even doctor said, have you heard of, you know what? The chances that you will survive is only 80%. That means 20% is the chance that you're going to die. You will still say, okay, do it. Imagine this is kind of faith we actually live in. So, if we can do similarly, faith in scriptures is like scriptures are like our mother. And God is our supreme father. So what we have to remember is that it is I'm so sorry. मेरे जो notes है ना, it didn't come through. So I'm gonna use these notes जो I just printed before I came here. So okay. So next one is what we're gonna discuss. Why are the scriptures so important? For example, if you want to get knowledge about any field, what do? We need a reference, okay? If you want to know something about something, we need a reference. To get knowledge on any subject, we need to refer to a book in that field. So, similarly, to get knowledge of God, we must refer to scriptures, and that's why we put faith in the scriptures. Okay, so and next topic that we will discuss will be on God. So, some people say, oh, somebody was telling me, my son, he got baptized when he turned, I think, 3 in the church. So, church mein, because his middle name is Narayan, my son's name is Narayan, the pastor actually said, so he said the name Samuel, his first name is Samuel Narayan Mishra. And he goes, okay. And he said the meaning of Samuel according to Bible. And then he said, Narayan, the meaning what he got is something related to water. Because he would have seen Vishnu or something, but he didn't want to say it in front of everyone. And then afterwards, somebody was asking me, hey, you're Hindu, aren't you? I said, yeah. I said, you have like billions of gods, don't you? And I said, no, we don't have billions of gods. He goes, no, man, I know. I've got a friend who was telling me it was like something 3.3 million or something. I said, no, it's not correct. And then he said, he looked at me, he goes, I don't trust you. I'm like, okay. He told me he doesn't trust me because obviously, I'm standing in a church claiming to be Hindu. Why would someone trust me anyway, So I said to him then afterwards, because he was really curious, I told him, look, we don't have 33 million gods, like 3.3 million gods. We have just one God. There is one prime minister, but he has cabinet, a lot of cabinet ministers. Prime minister is not involved in everything. Like for example, if I don't have water in the main pipeline, it's not a problem of prime minister, but it's a problem of, Westwater, City Westwater. It is a problem of City West. Who owns City Westwater? Government. Who is in charge of the government? Indirectly, he is responsible, but I'm not going to go to him. So I go to, his employees. So I explained to him and it made sense to him. So similarly, we need to, if you want to learn about God, we need to refer to scriptures, And, as we discussed, if you want to know who your father is, you need to speak to your mother, and our scriptures are our mother. So we have to find out. So now we're going to discuss who am I. So where is Prabhu? Nirmal, I need someone's phone. Yeah. Let's see if it works. The video.
Who am I? Am I what I do? An artist? An accountant? A teacher? A mother? Or am I what I've achieved? An honor student? An MVP? A winner? Am I the things I've done right? Or am I defined by the things I've done wrong? Am I a saint? A sinner? What about...
Okay, let's start with you. Where's the mic? Who are you? Better. Who are you?
I'm a kid.
You're a kid. Okay, very good. Good. Adi, who are you?
I'm the soul and...
That's it. One. Anyone else? Prabhu, who are you?
Human being.
Human being? Okay, beautiful. Yes, Prabhu, who are you?
I'm a son of my parents and father of my daughters.
Beautiful. Prabhu, who are you? Anup.
I'm Anup.
Anup? He's Anup. Okay, very good. Yes, Prabhu, who are you? Just loudly say.
Soul.
Your soul, yes. Anyone else? Yes. Do you want to say who are you? If I ask you who are you, if someone asks you who are you, what's the first thing you say? Just say it. Doesn't matter. Yes, you say your name. Okay. Somebody asks me who am I? It depends on who asking. For example, if I'm in a very big conference, in my bank's conference, I'm sitting in a conference, leading a conference, someone comes after and say, "Who are you?" I'm not gonna say I'm an Indian. I will say, "Yeah, I'm a manager of this, I'm commercial lending operations manager." I will tell them that. If if I'm in a wedding and someone comes and asks me, "Who are you?" then I'll say, "Oh, I am the friend of the bride. I am a friend of bride's husband." Depending on किस context में मुझसे कोई पूछ रहा है, I will reply to that. Now, the problem is we all have two identities. One is your relative identity. Relative identity जो हम लोगों ने अभी बोली, like for example, school में somebody says, "Who are you?" We just say our name. This is my name, So that's called relative identity. And there is another thing which is called real identity, So एक आइडेंटिटी तो वो है जो हम दूसरों को दिखाते हैं आउटसाइड वर्ल्ड में, है ना? सो एंड एक आइडेंटिटी है जो हमारी रियल है. नाउ व्हाट वी विल डू इज सॉरी आई हैव टू रेफर टू दिस बिकॉज मेरे सारे नोट्स गए इसमें से, कंप्यूटर में से. Okay, so the problem is, it is essential to first discover who you are. Okay? If you don't discover yourself, if you don't know who you really are, what is the point of knowing anything else? I remember, I don't know whether I shared this with you, I think 2000 the Aborigines for 6 weeks as a volunteer, and I was there is a dance school in New South Wales called Naisda Dance School, which is all the Aborigines kids, they go and study there, and they sent me over there to set up their because it's a TAFE, but they have no policies and procedures to be called TAFE, so I was supposed to build up their processes on the side so that we can actually it was accredited because of being an Aborigine, but they want to get into the mainstream. So I went there and I was helping them, and this kid, I remember, I think I've told you guys. So one day I was, so the company gave me a car. It was a 4-wheel drive because we were gonna go on camping and stuff. So it was a 4-wheel drive, but the windows, but they were not tinted. So it was hot. And I was driving and I was complaining, "Oh my goodness, they're giving me car. What's the point of giving me car in such a hot thing? It should be tinted at least, मेरे दिमाग में था. And then suddenly I saw this one of the kid. I was parking के पीछे एक छोटा सा lake था, and there was this kid who was sitting there. I don't know him. He was really good dancer. So I thought I'm gonna say hello to him. So I went up to him and I realized he was smoking behind the bush. I was like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't want to catch him smoking," kind of stuff. But he saw me through the smoke and he said, No, Bridge, please come. So मैं उसके साथ बैठा, and he had tears in his eyes. मैंने उसको पूछा, "What happened?" Because you know what he said to me? He said, "Bridge, I don't know who I am." I was like, "What?" And I was thinking in there and sitting, "What do you mean you don't know?" But I didn't say that. I said, "What happened?" He said, "Bridge, you know that when we go and perform on the stage, they actually call us up with our original name, and they say, Mr. this and this, and then they say which clan he is from, and then I go on the stage, and because I don't know what my clan is, because I was adopted and I was foster cared and all those sort of things. I don't know who my parents are, so I don't know which clan I belong to. So every time whoever is announcing, they announce whatever they feel like, because I have no clan, and this bothers me." And he was crying. He was really upset. You know what I was upset about? I was upset about the tinted windows. Can you compare it? He has a crisis of his identity, and before that I never thought anybody would have a problem with who am I, because usse pehle issues with that. Now that is why if you don't know who you are, there is no point learning anything else. The most introspective topic is who am I. Now आपको पता है the reason why it's so important is गीता में when Krishna starts speaking first 10 verses का जो essence है वो यही है, who am I? This is such an important topic that Krishna built the whole 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita based on this premise of who am I? If you can get this today, I'm telling you, you will have no issues understanding, grasping and improving your faith in scriptures and growing as a spiritual being. Guaranteed, if you can understand this whole concept of this class. So I invite you, please, to listen with that kind of intention where you know that I'm here. I think, remember some of you asked me, hey, can you tell, I think you asked me, how did you come in?
Yeah.
आपको पता है, the first class that I attended, that was my first class.
Yeah.
First time I sat in the class like this, I was late, and this is the class I heard. And the question that they were asking was, who are you? Who am I? And I'm telling you, that one class changed my whole life completely, 180 degrees. So, if you think about this body, like, how much does it, like, there is a, birth is a fascinating, death is even intriguing, and we don't know the answers for it, People have phobias. Have you heard of phobia? Like some people, I've got a friend who has a phobia of germs. You know what he does? He cannot eat anything outside because when he sees people without gloves, he just goes crazy. He can't eat anything. So he can't eat anywhere outside. And plus, his skin is like so soft that, if you touch, this table can scratch his hand. He does like this. He's so, like, he's on a very different scale. He's got a phobia. A lot of people have phobia about height. Some people, I've got a claustrophobia, so I can't be in a small space, So that's my thing. Where does it come from? We have this phobias, unique fascination. There was this devotee who was telling me this kid, he's only like 3 or 4 years old. Like, this is a story. When he told the story, the kid was only 2-3 years old. He was fascinated with fans. So he was so he's only 2-3 years old. He's fascinated with anything that is moving like a fan. All his toys what he buy, it has to have a fan in it. So if you think about this body, like, how much does it, like, there is a, birth is a fascinating, death is even intriguing, and we don't know the answers for it, People have phobias. Have you heard of phobia? Like some people, I've got a friend who has a phobia of germs. You know what he does? He cannot eat anything outside because when he sees people without gloves, he just goes crazy. He can't eat anything. So he can't eat anywhere outside. And plus, his skin is like so soft that, if you touch, this table can scratch his hand. He does like this. He's so, like, he's on a very different scale. He's got a phobia. A lot of people have phobia about height. Some people, I've got a claustrophobia, so I can't be in a small space, So that's my thing. Where does it come from? We have this phobias, unique fascination. There was this devotee who was telling me this kid, he's only like 3 or 4 years old. Like, this is a story. When he told the story, the kid was only 2-3 years old. He was fascinated with fans. So he was so he's only 2-3 years old. He's fascinated with anything that is moving like a fan. All his toys what he buy, it has to have a fan in it. So he will not play with anything. And so one day this Prabhu was saying that they went to a brand new temple, and it has beautiful temple. So nobody was there, so they were doing the tour for the temple. After hours, everybody was looking at the whole temple, and this kid, you know where he was? Next to the exhaust fan, looking at exhaust fans. That's it. He was not interested in anything else. And we still don't know why, but he's still fascinated with only fans. So where is that particular tendency coming from? Like for example, Pritish loves music. You know, we know that it comes from the family. You know, but there are certain traits in him which obviously, I've spoken to Lalit Prabhu and Ruchita Mataji. They actually say that he's different. He's a different kid. Where do we get that from? There are so many things that happen in our life, those phobias and stuff. Where is it coming from? Now, there is a doctor. His name is Dr. Harry Monson. Yeah? Now, this Dr. Harry Monson, he's a professor of anatomy in Illinois University, okay, of medicine. You know what he did? He did, he did an experiment on dead bodies. So he got all the dead body and found out what it is made out of, what chemicals it has. So mostly your body has mostly water, and then 50 pounds of this, calcium was this, phosphate, all those chemicals he this. Now, I want you to tell me, all these chemicals that our body is made out of, how much do you think it cost? Like, अगर वो जो chemical है, अगर हम बाजार में खरीदने जाएंगे, how much would it cost us? Give me an example, just random figure in dollars. $5,595. Anyone else? Please just, this is really important for this discussion, so tell me. $25. What else? $10? $10? Anyone else? Huh?
Copper's expensive.
Okay.
Someone stole a piece of copper from my store. Now I know it costs like...
Copper is very expensive.
Yeah. So it's definitely over $10.
So, what else? Anyone else? $50? Yeah? What else? That's it. Yes? $70. Okay. Or I'm going to tell you the price of this. And this is actually the price. This was in 2016. By the way, this research was done in 2016. So this number that I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you the number. It's actually... It's 110 rupees, which is $2.
Okay.
Now, it's not even $2. Like, for example, let's say $5 because inflation and everything, make it 2.5 times. So, our body made out of $5. So, for example, I'll give you another example. Ek bacha hai, like, suppose my friend comes suppose I buy Aston Martin. I'm a big fan of James Bond, so he drives Aston Martin. So I buy Aston Martin, and one of my friend comes and he goes, "Hey, British, can I drive it?" I'm like, no, I don't want to give him, but he's a good friend, so I'll give him. Okay, drive. He goes out and hits a pole, and he gets injured as well himself. And I walk up to him, and I'm in a dilemma. I've got $900,000 worth of Aston Martin, and my best friend. Should I take him to doctors or should I take my car to garage? What should I do? What would you do? Garage. You will go to garage. Very good. Who else? What would you do?
I would call for the insurance and then take my friend to the doctor.
Yeah, call for the insurance first. Yeah, okay. What else? Anyone else? What would you do? And it's a very important discussion actually. Yes, what would you do?
I will take my friend because I can buy another Aston Martin, but I can't get that friend back.
Yeah, very good. Now, I think there is a mistake in calculation because I just told you our body is worth how much? $5. And how much is my Aston Martin?
900,000.
900,000 base model.
You're anyways going to spend more money on like a surgery or something.
No, but surgery is free in Australia. What are you talking about? If you have a Medicare card, anyway, think about it. Why would I is there anyone? Okay, who would you say, Prabhu? Your friend or the car? Friend. Why? Don't we see? I just gave you an example. It's like $5 versus $900,000. Not even close.
That's the body cost.
That's the cost of the
human
body.
life.
Hang on. Yes, that's where I want to get to. So think about it. What is the difference between, if I told you the body is only $5, then why? So, for example, Lalit Prabhu, I want to take him. I want to give you $1 million. Can I have him? No, no.
No, I'm saying.
Why not? But I told you. But his body only worth $5. Why can't I'm giving you $1 million? Why can't? So what is the difference? Tell me. I want to know what's the difference. Yes, ma'am.
His body has the life.
His body has a life. Okay. How do we know his body? What happens when body has a life? What? Huh?
Emotional connection.
Emotional connection. Very good. You were right. So if you the bag, that $5 bag of all this potassium and all those sort of things, would you see any emotion in that ever? Would that $5 worth of phosphorus is gonna come and say, Papa, this is a card I drew for you? Would he do that? No. Would he actually reciprocate with your hugs? He will come and say, hey, Papa, I'm here. Papa, give me a hug. Papa, I'm really happy to see you. I'm really sad that you didn't call me. All of those things. None of those things happen. Now, why? What happened? What happened? Now, I'm going to tell you something. Because death is such a mysterious thing. I'm going to read you a poem. Kids, please don't ask me to translate it because I won't be able to translate it. So, letting you know in advance. Just bear it, what I'm going to say, okay? And if you know this poem, please repeat with me as well. आज जवानी पर इतराने वाले कल पछताएगा, चढ़ता सूरज धीरे धीरे ढलता है, ढल जाएगा. याद रख सिकंदर के हौसले तो आली थे, जब गया था दुनिया से दोनों हाथ खाली थे. जर जमीन जर जेवर कुछ ना साथ जाएगा. What is jar? Jar means women or any opulence. जर जमीन जेवर कुछ भी साथ ना जाएगा, खाली हाथ आया है और खाली हाथ जाएगा. मुट्ठी बांध के आने वाले हाथ पसारे जाएगा, धन दौलत जागीर से तूने क्या पाया क्या पाएगा. चढ़ता सूरज धीरे धीरे ढलता है, ढल जाएगा. And this is extreme. There are at least a lot of paragraphs in there which was a little bit more in Urdu and didn't fit with the context here. So मैंने इसमें जो context था वो लिया है. But if you think about it, what is it? If the human body is only worth 110 rupees, $5, then what's happening? Yes, beta.
You could take an example of a car and.
Yes, we will. We will. Yes.
Elon Musk can buy everybody in the world.
Elon Musk can buy everybody in the world.
That's a good idea.
But your dad was not even selling me for $1 million. How can Elon Musk buy you? Anyway, so our scriptures. So we have a temporary identity, we have a real identity. Now, what are the primary identity that we have? For example, what happened? Oh man. Okay, for example, किसी ने बोला name, ठीक है? Name is a permanent identity or temporary identity?
Temporary.
क्यों? You can change it. है ना? What about if I introduce myself? Look, I am a husband. That's an upadhi, identity? Can I change it?
Yes, you can.
No, I can't. Let's move on. Let's moving on. So, what is the next one? How about?
You can get a divorce and change it.
हिंदी में बोल देते हैं कुछ प्रॉब्लम थी क्या? My wife understands English. So anyway, so होता क्या है? What's happening is how about my religion? Can I change my religion? A lot of people. How about my caste? Can I change my caste? Yes, because caste is what? हमारे शास्त्रों के हिसाब से based on your occupation.
Speaking of caste.
Hang on. So I can change. So that's not my. How about my nationality? Can I change my nationality? Yes. We all have, We all have. If people would want to, love to. Live examples, So I am not the temporary body. Our scriptures tells us we are spirit soul. Now I'm going to tell you something very interesting, and I think I've showed you a video long time ago about a pencil. I want you to listen to this very, very carefully. Now, this lady, grandma, is actually talking to her granddaughter and telling her about this pencil, and she's giving some really amazing teachings from the pencil. So grandma says, the first thing she says, that what is more important is what is inside of you. Pencil ke liye, what can you learn from a pencil? What is most important is inside of you. What does that mean? That means external doesn't really matter. How I look, how I speak, what language can I speak, what command do I have on English or any other language, how beautifully I can speak, whatever it really doesn't matter. What matters is what is inside me. Essence of pencil is that pencil is within and the pencil is outside. Pencil is recognized by the lead that is inside, the grey lead. Now, instead of focusing on external, we need to focus on our internal aspect, and then we can be happy. Now, if you think about it, there was I think last week we were discussing, me and Richard, we were discussing about this. We all do this thing. हम लोग क्या करते हैं? We compare करते हैं. If I'm not getting a promotion, no problem. Problem happens, my friend gets a promotion. That's a problem. What was that? 3 Idiots में हम लोग फेल हो जाएं, हम लोग लास्ट टाइम उसमें इतना दुख नहीं होता है. दुख तब होता है जब नहीं दोस्त फेल हो गया तो उसका दुख था, लेकिन उससे ज्यादा दुख कब हुआ जब वो फर्स्ट आया. So we all are trying to compare. So, but what is inside of me may not be what is inside of it. Like for example, if I'm a good painter, and not necessarily my wife, she's not a good painter. It's not necessary. Her skills are different to my skills. That means if I'm trying to copy her, would it be right? No. You know why? Exam mein, why do we copy in exam? So that we can get good marks. But would you copy an exam where the question paper is different? Guess what? We all have a different question paper. We are trying to copy someone else's answers. What will it do? Disaster. It will create disaster. And that's why if you look at a lot of people, they are not happy. Not because they don't have anything. It's because they are trying to copy someone or something that's not inside of them. Pencil, grandma is saying, pencil, the best quality of the pencil is what's inside of the pencil. That is, agar pencil mein se wo grey color ki lead hai andar ki wo nikal di jaye, it's like a piece of wood. You can't do much with it. So the only good quality that we have is what's inside of us, and this is what we have to remember. Never focus on an external, because ever-changing temporary aspect of life is called relative identity. हम लोग उसके चक्कर में रह जाते हैं. I need to have something because someone else has it. Somebody was telling me that I'm going to change my job. I said, why? Because everybody is changing jobs. I said, wow, that is a great, that's amazing. Why? Like I said, when you stand in the train station, do you get into the train जिसमें सबसे ज़्यादा लोग चढ़ रहे हैं? Well, no. So then, why don't you do it? Because I know where I have to go. I said, so first you find out where do you have to go, and then you can, if you want to follow. For example, if I want to be an amazing businessman, I know I need to follow someone like a great businessman. I want to follow Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. I'm going to follow him. Yeah. But if I want to be a spiritualist and I'm following Elon Musk, how stupid is that? Now, कहते हैं ना, धोबी का कुत्ता ना घर का ना घाट का. Where does that come from? Because you are not who you are. You want to be someone else, and you can't be someone else. Bhagavad Gita mein Krishna says, it's better to do your own duty imperfectly than trying to do someone else's duty perfectly. We'll discuss all of that in very, very big detail. Yeah, we only have 3 minutes. Do you want me to finish this pencil story and then we'll wrap it up, yeah? Okay, the second is, you're not going anywhere. Where are you going? No. Huh?
He's still scared that he will take him.
So, the second is, everything that you will do will always leave a mark. आप ये सोचो कि आप लोगों का, like for example, the way we deal with our kids, it will leave a mark. We have mark of our parents. आप अपने बच्चों को यहाँ पे लेके आते हैं. This is the only spiritual association they have. ये एक ही choice जो आप बच्चों को दे सकते हो. बाकी क्या करते? There's nothing, like how much time we spend for this body. खाना पीना नहाना धोना, बालों में जेल लगाना जिसके हैं, and all those sort of things, So, but all of those things we do for this body, we don't do this. How much do we spend for that something inside? जैसे ग्रेलेट को बोला ना, you will leave your mark. बेटा एक सेकंड, बेटा. Everything you do will always leave a mark. And the third one is, in life you will undergo painful sharpening, which will make you better. When people say discipline, my friend was telling me, he goes, you have such a boring life, Rich. You have a discipline of going to sleep on a particular time, getting up on a particular time. You don't eat this, you don't eat that, you do this, you do that. You're living such a restricted life. दम नहीं घुटता तेरा, ऐसे बोला. And I was like, this is called, some people think it's a foundation. आपको पता है, what is the meaning of boundary? Boundary का मतलब है, suppose एक गाय को हमने एक रस्सी से बांध दिया, ठीक है? जिस दायरे में जिस circumference में गाय जा सकती है, that's its control. उतना circumference उस control है, उसका control है. तो उसको क्या लगता है कि I don't do certain things, so this is a restrictions on me. तो मैंने उसको बोला यार, okay, and he's a gym junkie. तो मैंने उसको बोला कि how many times in a week you go to gym? He goes, I said, 6 days a week. क्यों? तो बोलता है, because I have to look certain way. मैंने कहा, you're such a fool, because कैसी लाइफ है तेरी, सच है, तेरे को घुटन नहीं महसूस होती, 6 दिन तेरे को जाना पड़ता है. कहता, but I have a purpose for this. मैंने कहा, no, we were not talking about purpose, we were talking about your discipline. Your discipline, does it free you or does it make you restricted? He goes, no, it makes me free. I said, how? He said, because when I do my exercise, I feel good, I have more stamina, I can play with my kids, I have more confidence, I've got this and this and this. So he was telling me what his freedom means. And that's exactly what I do. I don't do certain things, I do certain things. Because that makes me free. फिर मैंने उसको बताया कि the only thing that gives you freedom is discipline. Green lights and red lights. हम लोगों ने example देखा था. If there is, हमारे पर traffic lights हैं, this is what is traffic light? It's a restriction, but because of that restriction, we are free to go when it's green. Not in India, but यहाँ पर at least. In India, you still have to look around. But here, if it's green, you don't look around, you just go. So what discipline does? Discipline gives us more freedom. So in life, if you don't go through painful, आज का जो आप, the pain that I'm giving you right now, it is actually trying to give some sort of thing, flare something inside, which is going to help us in the long run. The third one is, you can always correct your mistakes. हम लोगों ने लाइफ में, हम लोगों ने देखा था, to be human is to err. We make mistakes. हमारे one of the propensities, we make mistakes, commit mistakes. Remember that we can change it. We can erase it. We can write a new thing. If you have written something wrong with a pencil, you can rub it and write it again. And that's what we need to do. हम लोगों को सबको पता है कि हम लोगों ने क्या गलतियां करी हैं. Problem पता क्या है? गलती कर दी है, हमें पता है गलती है, but we want to do it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. What does that mean? That gives us pain, suffering. तो हमें क्या करना? Just make sure that we have an option to erase it. And the last one, which is the most important one, is एक pencil. I had a pencil, but I left it on a dining table. So suppose I'll get a pen. So imagine, what is the best thing you can do with a pencil? Like for example, ये pencil है. What can I do with a pen? Suppose it's a pen. Suppose it's a pencil. What can I do? What can I do with this? What else I can do with it? Huh? No, pencil set. Huh? What else can I do with it? I can throw it. I can hurt people. One of my friend, you know what he did? He put the pencil on the chair when I was trying to sit on it. You can do that as well, yeah? But what is the best use of this pencil? To write. So in order for you, if this is me, in order for me to be the best version of me, I need to give myself guidance from someone. I need to take guidance. This pen, when it takes guidance of my hand, it can do the best what it can do. If there is no hand, it's sitting there doing nothing. So we all need to have someone who can guide us. We all need. अगर आपको लगता है ना नहीं, there is only one problem. Ego is telling you, no, I don't need anyone. Everybody needs a guide. To be the best pencil, you must allow yourself to be held and guided by a hand that holds you. You know who that hand is in our life? Who can be that hand? It could be anyone. That hand could be our wife, could be our husband, could be our kid, could be our teacher, could be our parent, could be guru, could be anyone. When I say give yourself, doesn't mean let them rule your life. It means take guidance. I learned so many things from my son. My son was telling me the other day, he said, Papa, I want you to, what did he say? He said, I was really stressed out because I had this deadline, and he told me, he comes to me and said, Papa, why are you stressed? I said, nothing, beta, it's just office. You know what he said? He said, you know why you're stressed? Because you are losing your faith. And I'm like, what? I said, in what? I thought he's talking about me. He goes, no, you're losing your faith in God. I was like, what? He said, Papa, you need to depend on the Lord only after you have done your hard work. He's only 7-year-old. He told me and he left. So what is he for me? He is that hand. Sometimes he can hold me and make the best version of myself. So we need to find out who is that. Trust me, there are a lot of people in your life who will use you to get the worst out of you. Put you on a chair and get people to sit on you. That's not the purpose of this. Some of the people that you have in your life will try and throw you on the other people and hurt those people. That's not the best use of this. Some people would want to burn it. But that's using pencil is not the best use of pencil. So find out what is the best use of you, and now next class we're going to talk about what is the best use of this pencil. Best use of who. Next class mein abhi we haven't find out who we are. We just found out that we are not this body. Because his body is only $5. I can't be $5, man. So there must be something other than that. So we are not this body. Who are we? We'll do next week, okay? We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anybody has any questions or any comments?